got his inner writings, personal writings. It's got music he wrote. It's got poetry, songs. It's a lot of it. The story of his life is told through the eyes of the people who actually knew him. And it's a very intimate portrait of a very great tzaddik in a way that we don't often get to see. All right? So I'm telling you about it now, so people get very excited about it. The publication date is probably after Hanukkah. Okay, but I'm going to tell you about it now so you can all think about it, and by that time you will have all decided to buy it. Okay? And before we learn Zohar, I have a prayer which was written by the Ari, Zichrono Livracha. Okay? And I have a prayer, and this is how it goes. Ribon Olamim, Vadonei Adonim, Master of the universe and Lord of lords, Father of mercy and forgiveness, we give thanks before you, O Lord our God and God of our fathers, in bowing our head and prostrating ourselves, that you have brought us close to your Torah and to your service, the holiest of services. And you've given to us a portion in the inner means of your holy Torah. What are we and what is our life that you've dealt with us with such a great kindness as this? Therefore we lay our supplication before you, that you pardon and forgive all of our sins and iniquities, that they should not separate us from you. And may it be your will, O Lord our God and God of our fathers, that you prepare our hearts to have reverence of you and love of you. And may your ears listen to these our words. Open our uncircumcised heart in the inner meanings of your Torah, and may this our learning give pleasure before the throne of your glory as a sweet-smelling fragrance. May you bestow upon us the light of the source of our soul in all its aspects, and may the sparks of your holy servants, through whom you revealed these your words, shine forth in the world. And may their merit, and the merit of their fathers, the merit of their Torah, their wholeness and their holiness stand by us, that we do not stumble in these words. And through their merit, enlighten our eyes in what we are learning. As the sweet singer of Israel said, open my eyes, and I will look on the wonders of your Torah. For the Lord gives wisdom from his mouth, knowledge and understanding. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be ever acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, right. Now, has anybody ever noticed something very extraordinary about Shavuot? And that is, it doesn't have a specific date in the Torah. All the other Hagim have a date. On the 14th day of Nisan, you've got to do this, and on the first day of the 7th month, you've got to do that. Okay, for Rosh Hashanah, you blow the horn, blow the shofar. But for Shavuot, it doesn't give a date. What it does say is on the Mocharat of the Shabbat, that's on the second day of Pesach, you have to do the Omer sacrifice, get the first sheaf of the barley harvest, and take it to the Beit HaMikdash, and the priest the Kohen will wave it, make the Hakravat Omer, and then you count 50 days, all right? And on the 50th day, that is Shavuot, all right? Now, of course, we open the calendar, we know which day Shavuot is, but in those days, all right, you had to count the days. All right? Have you, when you were little children, do you remember counting the days before your birthday?
Yeah.
Everybody counts days. When you're looking forward to something, you count the days to get there.
Yeah.
All right? And the issue is, we need to know right now what it is we're counting for. Okay, so we can anticipate it, so we can long for it, so we have enthusiasm. I know that there's lots and lots and lots of different shitot on counting the Omer, how we build the vessels, okay, day by day, and some use the Sfirot and others use Midot, okay? And that's all true. But I need the Koach to keep myself going. What's the Koach? To imagine what I'm looking forward to anticipate, okay? And for me, that is the Sfirat HaOmer. that I'm counting the days to Shavuot. And it's according to the days that I will know when Shavuot is going to be. All right? Just as it was in the time of the Great Mikdash. So we're going to be learning in the next 5 weeks. We've got an incredible opportunity, and thank you, Judy, for making it possible for us, to learn an article which many people learn on the night of Shavuot itself. And why I want to learn it now is because the Zohar teaches us what Shavuot actually is. Now, many years ago, when I first read this article, I have to tell you, it blew me away completely. I never read anything so amazing. So I want to share this with you today, so that we will know why we're counting the Omer, and we will know what we're looking forward to. Okay? So, you've all got the text. All right? Now, I have to tell you that the whole article is in fact very long. All right? And usually it takes me about a year or two to learn it. So we don't have a year or two. We just have to do what we can in the 5 weeks. However, what's really good about it is the punchline comes right at the beginning. Okay? So we don't have to worry, oh dear, we've got to wait the whole year till we find out. No. The punchline is right at the beginning, and so we're going to be able to learn what the essence of Shavuot is right at the beginning. Now, anybody who's not yet, here you are, cottoned on to what the Zohar page looks like, this is what it looks like. We have the Aramaic at the top of the page. Okay, these are the actual words that Rabbi Shimon channeled. And here in the middle bit, we have sources and cross references and things like that, most useful. And then underneath, Rabbi Ashlag organized his commentary. And for those of you who are not aware, Rabbi Ashlag was the great tzaddik who opened up the Zohar to everybody in the 20th century, which had previously been quite closed. Right, so we're going to start. Ma'amah b'Leilah dekala. So how we're going to do it, we're going to first read the Aramaic at the top, and you can take it as a meditation. All right, we're not running anywhere. Take it as a meditation. Just listen to the words of the Aramaic, and then afterwards we're going to go and study it from the Hebrew. Okay? Rabbi Ashlag very kindly translated it for us, understanding that most of us don't know Aramaic. Rabbi Shimon, Hava yativ alai ba'oraita. B'Leilah dekala, itchabrat b'ba'ala. Detaninon kol inon chavraya divnei hechala dekala. Itzterichu, bahi Leilah dekala. Istamnat lemehevei liyom ha'ochra go chupa b'ba'ala. Lemehevei ima kola hu Leilah. ולמחדי עמה בתיקונה דאילו התעדכנת למלא באורייתא מתורה לנביאים ומנביאים לכתובים ובמדרשות דקראי וברזי דחוכמתה בגין דאילון אילון תיקונים דילה ותכשיטה ואיהי ואולמתה עלת וקיימת על ראשיהם ותקנת בהו וחדת בהו כל ההולליה וליום האוחרה לא עלת לו חופה אלא בהדאיהו ואילין עיקון בני חופתה וכיוון דעלת לו חופתה קודש בחושה איל עליהו מברך לון ומעטר לון ביתרה דקלה זכאה חוקיהון. Okay, we go back to the beginning, all right, and then underneath you can see in the very last paragraph at the bottom. No, we're going to do the Hebrew. I'll read from the Hebrew. Okay? No, one second. I will translate into English, but I can't translate from Aramaic.
Yeah.
Okay? The Aramaic. We said the Aramaic in order to connect with real words, the actual words that Rabbi Shimon brought down. Okay? But Rabbi Ashlag translated it into Hebrew for us, And I can translate from Hebrew. Okay? All right. Rabbi Shimon Hava. Rabbi Shimon, would you like me just to read it in English now? Rather than... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Rabbi Shimon was sitting and studying the Torah on the night in which the bride, which is the Malchut, okay, joins with her husband. Rabbi Shimon was sitting and studying Torah on the night in which the bride, now who's the bride? Us, that's right, the Knesset Israel, the community of Israel, all the souls, okay? All the souls is the community of Israel. Another name for the community of Israel, the Knesset Israel, is the Malchut. What is the Malchut? The Malchut is the Sphira, the last of all the Sphirot, but it's actually the vessel which holds the light. So another name for the Malchut is also the Shekhinah. Okay? And why is the Knesset Yisrael and the Shekhinah the same thing? Because when we're connected, where is the Shekhinah? Inside of us. It's the indwelling presence of God within us. Okay? So that indwelling presence of God, the Shekhinah, on the night of Shavuot, okay, on Shavuot, is joining with her husband. Okay? Who is her husband? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Alright? So we've learned, so this is already, amazing. And we've learned, Shalamatnu, כל החברים שהם בני היכל הכלה, צריכים באותו הלילה שלמוך אותו ביום השבועות, הכלה נועדת להיות תחת אפיים בעלה, להיות עמה כל אותו הלילה, ולסמוך עמה בתיקוניה שהיא מתקנת בהם. Now we've learnt that all the companions who are the, it says the children of the temple of the bride, all those who belong in the precinct of the Shekhinah, that's us, okay, need on that night, the day of which, the following day of which is the day of Shavuot, when the bride is appointed to be under the wedding canopy with her husband, all those companions need to be with her all through the night and to rejoice with her in her tikkunim, with which she is rectified, with her tikkunim which she is rectified with. Okay, and what is that? What are those? La'asok b'Torah, to study the Torah. U'mitorah le'neviim, and from Torah and the prophets, and meneviim le'ktuvim, and from prophets to writings, u'b'drashot u'mikraot, and to the commentaries of the scriptures, u'be sodei ha'chokhmah, and the inner meanings of the wisdom. All right? Why? Mishum she'elu him hatikunim shela v'tachshiteha, because these are her rectification and her jewelry. Let's stop there a moment. I can't manage Tikkun Leil Shavuot.
I know.
I hereby announce I did it one time, okay, and I was a wreck. I was a complete wreck. All right, and so I've learned, and I absolutely say also to those of you who've got small children, your children come first. All right. I cannot do Tikkun Leil Shavuot. I can do a little bit, past my bedtime, and then I'm sorry, God, that's it. I might get up early in the morning and do some the next morning. All right. But does that mean I'm not one of the chaverim of the Heichal HaKala? It's kind of a blow. So what is it actually talking about? All right? So when we look at the reality, I cannot stay up all night. All right? Nevertheless, I'm listening to what it's saying. All right? And what we're going to discover, it's actually got two meanings. One is the actual meaning of the night, of the Tikkun Leil Shavuot, and it's from this piece of the Zohar that the whole custom of Tikkun Leil Shavuot has been instituted, all right? However, for the weak amongst us, it has another meaning as well.
Well, could
Right,
it be
so-
a male and a female aspect of it? Like the man, I heard it's halacha for men to stay up for it.
It's not even a halacha, it's a minhag. Okay, I go to a shul up on Har Kanan, a Tunisian shul, lovely, lovely shul, which I love dearly, and most of the men are, certainly the gabbas and whatever, are past pension age, and they absolutely can't do it. They can't. So we actually have a bigger minyan on the regular time than they have, at 4 o'clock in the morning. So what does it mean? Does it mean you're out of the game? No, it doesn't. Let's hold our horses and find out. Okay? What about people who've got young children? They can't be up all night. They've got to be with their children the next day. Or grandchildren. Suppose you've got grandchildren here to stay. Okay? Right. Nevertheless, so let's have that as a question. Okay? And we'll see what happens. Well, we'll carry on first with the translation of the Zohar. So, he said, we occupy ourselves with Torah. Torah is obviously the 5 books of Moses, the prophets, okay, which were revealed with Ruach HaKodesh. Actually, they had actual direct reception. And the Ketuvim, the writings, which are the Tehillim and which were also written with Ruach HaKodesh, the explanations of the scriptures, and the Sodei HaChochma, the Rasin de Chochma. Now, why is Kabbalah called secrets? Anybody got any idea? Anybody remember?
You don't have to receive it. You can't receive somebody else's Kabbalah. Our connection to Torah and Hashem is individual.
That's
so
lovely.
it's kind of secret for the person who's not us.
Very nice. Exactly. Sometimes it's secret from us as well, to be honest. Okay? Yes,
Wasn't
Dawn.
it purposely written in a way that would obscure the meaning? That it was sort of a closed society, only to those people who have a very sophisticated level of Torah would be able to understand it, and written in a way so that it's not so clear.
That there definitely was a very big intention in that. There's definitely correct what you're saying. What's fascinating is what I once understood from the work of Rabbi Ashlag, when he says it's called secret because it's about intentions. Now, the Torah, which is nigleh, which is revealed, one moment.
Intentions, what is it in
Kavanah.
Kavanah? In
Yes,
Hebrew?
but let me explain what I mean, okay? He said, when you do an outer mitzvah, okay, which is Torah nigleh, okay? Why is it called nigleh? Because as you said, as Tippy said, everybody can see it, okay? It's obvious. So Torah nigleh deals with what is obvious to the naked eye. Torah ha-sod, the Kabbalah, deals with what is hidden, but it's actually very simple. And he gives an example which is actually brought in the Gemara. You have 2 Kohanim and they're eating the Kodashim in the Beit HaMikdash. There were some sacrifices which had to be eaten in a state of purity in the Beit HaMikdash. And one of them is sitting there thinking, oh my God, I was so hungry and this is a jolly good steak. Okay? And the other one is sitting there and he says, oh dear God, please send the sparks of this sacrifice up to heaven, and may the Bala Korban receive Shefa, and Kol Am Yisrael receive Shefa, Revuah, and Hatzlacha. From the outside, what do you see?
2 Kohanim eating.
2 Kohanim eating. From the inside, like you said, only the individual knows what he's really intending.
But who knows which intention is higher?
Sorry?
Who knows which intention is higher? Maybe
No.
the guy who's really enjoying the steak is higher than
Okay,
the guy who's
all right.
all.
So Ilana, that's an excellent question. How do we know which intention is higher? By learning the Kabbalah, by learning the Zohar. Because the Zohar teaches us correct intentions. Okay? And it turns out that correct intentions are very important for our service of God, for Avodat Hashem. All right? There's Torah shelo lishma, okay, where I've got my own self-interest mixed in, okay, which I'm not doing it for God's sake. And there's Torah lishma, where I'm actually working for God's sake. And you're right, it's only by learning, and this is the book of intentions, all right? And it's not talking about sophisticated intentions. It might also be what Judy said. There are inside here also the information about sophisticated intentions of names of God and things like that. But I don't know any of that, okay? What I'm interested in is, what is my intention on doing a simple mitzvah? And how can I do it in a way that will be pleasing to God?
When you say intention, do you mean kavanot?
Well, we say it's the same word, kavanot, but it's actually very simple. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Okay? When I do Natilas Yadayim in the morning, am I doing it in order to chalk up a mitzvah on the, on the mitzvah clock or something? Or am I really doing it with the intention of fulfilling the commandment because this is the commandment of my Creator? All right? And to actually look into why am I doing what I'm doing?
Is that why people can go crazy from learning Kabbalah?
No, it's because they're learning aspects of Kabbalah, which, as Judy quite rightly said, were hidden. There are certain levels which are definitely hidden. Okay, Rabbi Ashlag writes about that. Everything in the world is made up of 10 sfirot. Okay. The first 3 sfirot are forbidden, all right? They are indeed forbidden, okay? And they're dangerous for us. The lower sfirot are permitted.
What do you mean it's forbidden? Why?
Because they're dangerous. They are lights which are too high for our vessels, okay?
The 3 sfirot are forbidden? Why?
The first, I just told you, because the first three sfirot, the high 3 sfirot, are forbidden. That part of the Kabbalah is forbidden for us, okay, and there is an issue about that. But the other part, which is to do with the simple idea of why I'm doing what I'm doing, is not only not forbidden, but Rav Ashlag said really now is absolutely important, particularly for our generation, which is the generation of Mashiach.
But we study it.
Okay, right. V'hi hakala. Okay, so these are hatikunim, all right? Torah, Nevi'im, Drashot HaMikra, and Sodot HaTorah, and these constitute the full array of Torah. Okay, so through Torah we get our tikkun. V'hi hakala v'almoteha, and she, the bride, okay, that's all of us, and her maidens, ba'a v'omedet al roshehem, stands over as if she's covering, protecting those who are working to fulfill her, to rectify her, to give her jewelry. I love this word, jewelry. The bride, the Shekhinah, the souls, okay? Everybody together is the Shekhinah. What could be more beautiful than the Shekhinah? One more thing. The Shekhinah adorned with Torah. Isn't that an incredible image?
Yeah.
All right?
I want to understand. I think it's mentioned that even a person that learns Torah by himself, Shekhinah imo.
Yes, that's right.
כן, זה מה
The Shekhinah, yes.
That's what we should understand, not the fact that all together are learning. Even one person, a Jew, is learning too much, Shekhinah imo.
The thing is, I don't believe that you can ever really learn Torah on your own. When you're learning, the angels come and listen. How can that be on your own?
It happens. A cripple, a person that is stuck at home.
But the angels, his angels come and listen.
I thought he's talking about
Okay, so he's not on himself.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. So the angels come and listen. All right. And the Kala, all of us, we need to understand this so clearly, that each one, every single person, every single one of us is part of the Kala. So let's say you've got somebody sitting learning on your own. As you're learning, or if we're all one soul, if we're all part of Shekhinah, we're all somehow involved with that learning. Okay?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right? Rabbi Ashlag teaches us that all humanity, in fact, past, present, and future, is all one soul. So anybody who does a mitzvah automatically is raising up everybody else. Everybody else. It's an inevitable thing. All right? And Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Lezeh. So there's no such thing as on your own. You might look on your own, but it isn't. So the Kala, the Shekhinah, is coming over all of the people who are learning Torah and is using Torah, being rectified by the Torah. Okay, and these are her jewels. And she's happy with them all through the night. And on the Mocharat, on the next day, on the day of Shavuot, she only comes to the wedding canopy through them. Okay? With them. And these, the companions who are occupying themselves all through the night in Torah, are called the children of the chuppah. And when she comes to the chuppah, the Holy Blessed One asks after them, and blesses them, and crowns them with the crowns of the bride. Ashrei chelkam, happy is their portion. All right, beautiful. Biur hadvarim, explanation. Now remember the question we asked. What does Yedidah do with all of this when she can't stay up at night? Okay. Yesh b'zeh shnei perushim, u'shneihem olim b'kaneh echad. To this there are two explanations, and both of them come from the same source. All right, both of them are intimately connected.
That's why I heard if you can't sleep at night, listen to Torah, because the Yitzhahara will try to get you and you go to sleep.
Very nice. Okay. All right, but remember the question. All right? Ki yemei hagalut nikrat Leilah. The days of exile are also called the night. Ki hu hazman shel hastarat panav mibnei Israel. For this is the time when God's countenance is hidden from the children of Israel. Va'az sholtim kol kochot tipirud al ovdei Hashem. And then all the forces which come to separate us from God are there, and they're governing even those who serve in God. Va'al kol zeh. But nevertheless, davka be'etahi mitchaberet hakala b'ba'ala. Nevertheless, it's at that time that the bride joins with her husband. How? Al yedei Torah v'mitzvot, through Torah and good deeds, shel hatzadikim, of the tzadikim, hanikraim be'etahi, who are called at that time, b'shem Tamchin D'Oraita, called by the inner meaning, by the name of those who uphold the Torah. Now I want to stop here and I want to consider this situation. All right? Now, the Zohar, okay, talks in a very sort of hidden language, very much as Judy pointed out. Okay? So the Tikkun Leilah that we're talking about is also the tikkun of the times when God's face is hidden from us. We all go through times. All of us. We have times when everything is going well for us. Baruch Hashem, Hodul Hashem Ki Tov. And we also have times when it goes the other way. Okay? Okay? And we just hope and pray that that it's always not too bad. Okay? But sometimes things happen. Okay, we live in a physical world, things happen. And also it's through the negative sometimes that we learn a lot. And Rabbi Ashlag actually tells us something very powerful. What he said is, when we're in exile and God's light is hidden from us, we often feel abandoned. We often ask, why is God punishing me? Why is God abandoning me? But it's not that at all. Look what he says. It is this time when God's face is hidden from us. It is dafka at that time that the bride is joining with her husband. Okay, in the night, in the time of night. All right?
But it sounds like he's saying the night before the chuppah, like the
Okay, there are two explanations. Two. One is Tikkun Leil Shavuot. The other one is the time of exile. What would be the chuppah then? The Gemara Tikkun.
But it sounds like he's saying that the bride and her husband are united before the chuppah.
Yes.
But that's
Okay,
not
we're
how
not
it happens.
talking-
Usually, I mean, in
I know,
our day
we're
and
not-
age,
we're not-
you do the chuppah first, and then you go to the Yedidah.
Okay, we are not talking about human beings. Okay? We're not talking about human beings, we're talking about the relationship between God and the souls.
Isn't one a Gemara for the other?
No, you don't learn halakha from the Zohar.
Okay.
Okay? Halakha we learn from the Gemara. Alright? Or the Shulchan Aruch. Even better. Okay? You don't learn halakha from the Zohar. What we do learn is intentions. Okay? This is what we're learning, and sometimes you do, in fact, not often, but very many times you get things which seem to be a little, odd, okay, in human terms. But that doesn't matter. He's teaching us something important. He's teaching us, and this is what we need to concentrate on, that when things happen, all right, dafka, it's at that time that we are able to join with God.
I have a question. Just to
1
understand.
second, before, let me just finish what we're saying.
Sure.
All right. Now, who is it who's able to join? He says through the Torah and the mitzvot of the tzaddikim. Does that mean it's only, these great rabbis or somebody? Let's look at the word tzaddik. All right. Who is a tzaddik?
Kol Am Yisrael.
Who is a tzaddik? One who's able hatzdik et HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One who's able to justify God is called a tzaddik. So if we're in a situation which is difficult for us, okay, and nevertheless we're able to hatzdik, we're able to say, I don't understand what this is happening, but if God is asking me to do this or God is giving me this to me, then it must be right. That's the tzaddik, one who's able to hatzdik et HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right? Okay? So this is what he's talking about. He says through the Torah, the person who's trying to stay connected through his Torah, study Torah, connect with Torah in this difficult time, through the mitzvot that he's able to do, of somebody who's able to hatzdik et HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then all the forces of separation which are ruling over him are not actually governing him, because at that moment, even though he may not be able to see it or feel it, nevertheless he's connected with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the bride is joining with her husband. Okay?
I have a question.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Yeah.
So the connection of the husband and wife at night is a tikkun for Hashem's hiddenness? Is that what I'm
For
understanding?
Hashem's what?
Hiddenness. Is it the husband and wife
Yes.
uniting at night is the tikkun for the like we can't see Hashem.
It's not the husband and wife. We're not talking about husband and wife.
Okay, so I didn't understand.
It's not an analogy. It's not
It's
a
not
mushroom.
an analogy. It's not a mushal.
Okay,
Okay?
okay, fine.
All right. What it's telling us that when the days of exile, when God's light is hidden from us,
Yeah.
okay, it's called the night. All right.
Yes.
It's a code word. The word night here does not mean the physical night. All right. Although there is a connection. I don't know about you, but I get more depressed at night. I get slightly more depressed in the winter. All right, I find it harder when it's pouring with rain and foggy out there. Okay.
נגיד בבוקר
So,
תזכיר
you know,
ומונח בלילה.
Yes, and my spirits tend to rise in the morning. I think that's a natural cycle. So, you know, it's not stum that the night is called the night, but the night is obviously, why is the night that's called the time when God's light is hidden from us? Because on the night there's no light, it's obvious. Okay? All right, but it doesn't mean we're not talking about a physical night. We're talking about when God's light is hidden. All right? And that's when all the forces of separation, when we can get angry, when we can get depressed, when we can get miserable, when we can get sad, when we can say to God, why are you doing this? Okay? Accusing God of not running the world properly. Okay? All right? Or when we complain to our friends and we get all miserable down the telephone, that's called Lashon Hara Neged HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? So they're not meant to do that either. All right?
Yeah.
If that is happening, if we then reconnect through Torah and mitzvot and we justify God, okay, then at that time we are called the Tomchim D'Oraita, those who uphold the Torah. Okay?
What does it mean?
כל המדרגות הנשגבות הנקראות רזים דאורייתא מתגלות על ידיהם. And all the great lights, which are called the inner meanings of the Torah, the intentions, why we're doing what we're doing, is dafka manifest through them at that time. Why is that? When I'm receiving God's light, okay, and I say, oh, terrific, thank you, God, and I'm all up there and I'm all high as anything. All right, it's very easy for me to do a mitzvah. But I'm not really sure why I'm doing it. It's just because I feel good, you know, I can do it. All right. But when I'm feeling really, it's hard, okay, I'm not doing it for the good, for the feel-good feeling, okay? It's hard, okay? That's the time, dafka, when we know we're giving unconditionally to God. So it's dafka in the hard times that we discover what our intentions really are. When we really discover that no matter what, I want to give to God.
No
Okay?
judgment.
Right. And we're not judging. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Very
Right.
nice.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Comment?
Yeah.
Powerful.
I was just thinking when you talked
Midnight or something, God goes down to L'shtashem Tzadikim Gan Eden. And I think there was this tradition that you know at this time there's a change, and that's when God would go down, and it's the second part of the night. There's some mystical thing about it. I'm not quite sure what it is. I can
It's
find
the
it, I
new
found it
day,
somewhere.
if I may. It's the new day
It's
after
the new
midnight.
The truth
It's a
is,
new birth.
if you've ever lived next door to a cockerel, you know, a hen, you know, the male hens, roosters.
I have three.
Okay, so they go cock-a-doodle-doo at 2 in the
It
morning.
wraps up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some change that
Yeah,
happens
yeah.
round about 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that's when they
Okay.
start. Yeah.
Ah,
Kill them. I have.
okay, so.
They can kill me for 7 seconds and not go to this.
Okay, so all these great levels, high levels, which are called the hidden meanings of the Torah, okay, are revealed by the people who manage to connect with God, okay, in their dark moments. All right? So they are called the makers of the Torah. They are as if they are actually creating Torah. They're really making Torah. They're building Torah at that moment. Okay? Because they're really making it manifest in the world when it's difficult. ונמצא, and we find שימי הגלות נקראים לילה דקאלית חברת בבעלה, that the days of exile are called the night of the bride when she joins with her husband. וכל אינון חבריה דבני היכלה דקאלה, and all those companions of the children of the temple of the bride, הם התומכים דאורייתא, they are they who uphold the Torah. Okay.
For this companion.
That's all of us. When we manage to do a little bit of Torah, even when we're down, even when we're miserable, even when we're in the dark, mentally, emotionally, if we manage to do some Torah or mitzvot at that moment and do it with a good will and justify God, these are the Tomchim D'Oraita. These are the ones who uphold the Torah. Okay, now I'm just going to check time-wise. We have 10 minutes. Excellent. All right. Okay, so far so good, everybody?
Yes.
Hooray. All right. La'achar Gemar Tikkun v'Gula Shlema. And following the end of the Tikkun, okay, and the full redemption, okay, Shuhu Sod HaKatuv, which is according to the inner meaning of the scripture, V'haya Yom Echad, V'yivadal Hashem, Lo Yom V'lo Leilah, V'yal Et Erev Ye'or, it's from Zechariah, okay, and it will be on one day, will be known to God in neither day nor night, and even at evening time it will be light. Okay, marvelous Haftorah. I think they read this on Yom Ha'atzmaut actually also. Unbelievable. Hu she'omer dekal izdamnat lemahoi liyom ha'achogo chupa b'ba'ala. This is what the Zohar is referring to when he says that the bride is invited to be on the following day under the chuppah with her husband. Okay, so we have two explanations. One is the day of Shavuot. The other one is the night of exile till the Beit HaMikdash will be built. B'mhera b'yameinu amen. All right, and the Geula Shlema, and that is the day, and that's the wedding canopy, and that's when the bride will be joined with her husband. Okay, so we have both. All right, two explanations side by side. Ki az. Yashuv Haban Liot Sag Hama Yeah, I bet. Don't worry about these terms. What it means is all consciousness will go up. Alright? All these levels are conscious levels of consciousness, different worlds of consciousness. At that time, all consciousness will go up. What does that mean? It means instead of everybody
At what time? At what
at
time?
the time of the Geula, the time of redemption.
In
Okay.
Hebrew? Conscious in Hebrew?
Consciousness.
In Hebrew? How do you say?
Olamot Elyonim, higher worlds. Okay? Alright, all the worlds will go up. What does it mean? Instead of people worrying about themselves and what will be, they have a totally different consciousness. Okay? And all the world will know God. As the water covers the sea, it'll be totally natural to know God. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? The whole world will know God just as the water covers the sea. In the most natural way, we will be connected with God. Beautiful. All right?
Can I ask something about
No.
the Sabbath?
No more questions till the end because we've only got 10 minutes. All right? And therefore, Nivchan Leyom Ha'achra. And therefore, it is designated as the following day, the Gemara Tikkun, the redemption, Ulchupa Hadasha, and a new wedding canopy. Vatzadikim, and the righteous ones, now we all discovered who they were, people who make the effort, not necessarily people who get anywhere, but people who make the effort, okay? At that time are called the children of the chuppah. The children of the wedding canopy. We helped build it. Okay? Because at that time, they're just going to be enjoying Torah. They're just going to be bathed in Torah, just being Torah. Okay? Without actually having to create it. For then it will be said, then of that time it is said, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord as the water covers the seabed in the most natural way. V'liot hatzadikim halalu, for these are the tzadikim, who al yedei ma'aseim hatovim, through their good deeds, yalu haban liot sag, raise up all their consciousness of receiving. Ban refers to receiving. To sag, which is giving. Okay? Don't worry about the terms. Mikocham shachatam hayiram mizman she'avar. Now what happens at the Gemara Tikkun, alright, we have to still remember our Yirat Hashem. This is quite a complex point, and I don't think I've got time to go into it now, so we'll talk about that another time, next time.
Hashem?
They draw on their Yirat Hashem from the time of the past. I'll finish this and then we'll see. And therefore they're making this new wedding canopy, alright? And therefore they are called the children of the wedding canopy. Right, now I'm going to just address that last sentence in a moment, but before I do, what have we learned so far? We've learned that the Zohar, when he's talking about Shavuot, is also talking about the Gemara Tikkun, the redemption. Okay? Both of these topics are completely parallel. Actually, they're the same, in fact. And next week, we're going to be actually looking how Shavuot is the essence of the Gemara Tikkun, of the redemption. All right? We're going to see how these two explanations absolutely come together. He started off with the explanation of the Zohar in terms of the Gemara Tikkun, of the redemption, in which case the night is not the physical night, but it is the night is the time of exile and of separation. The tzaddik is not necessarily the one who's got it all together, but the one who makes the effort when things are going hard to justify God and to use his Torah and mitzvot as much as possible to stay connected with God. Okay? All right? And through that action, he's actually creating Torah, or Se'et HaTorah. He's making Torah. And everybody together becomes the builders of the Torah, builders of the wedding canopy. Okay? And the Gemara Tikkun, the redemption itself, is the day when the bride, that's the Shekhinah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu unite under the wedding canopy. Okay? So that's what we've learned so far. Alright? Now, one more thing. He says, when we're in the dark, alright, and we can't feel God, sense God, we have to believe in God, okay? And the only thing we can really do is have Yirat Hashem, keep away from the negative and strive to do the positive, okay? And that's emunah, we have to have faith in God, okay? It's very difficult, all right? And we all long for the moment when, we've got there, all right? But in actual fact, from the crossing of the Red Sea, which we had not so long ago, we learned something very special. When the children of Israel were crossing the Red Sea, they saw the hand of God. They really did, okay? Even the youngest and most insignificant handmaiden saw a revelation of the light of God, which was even greater than Yehezkel the prophet, right? And what does it say next sentence? V'aminu b'Hashem u'Moshe avdo. And they believed in God and in Moses his servant. Now, belief is what you do when you don't see, okay? When you can't see. That's when you have to believe. So what is belief when God is present? Or when the revelation of the light of God is present? Rabbi Ashlag teaches us something very important, very powerful. And that is that before we have a revelation of the light of God, we don't really have a choice. We can either be, fall down, God forbid, or we have faith in God. All right? What sort of a choice is that? It's a default. Okay? When the light of God is present, as, for example, at the Gemara Tikkun, or as it was at the crossing of the Red Sea, if at that moment we choose to say, thank you, God, but I choose the way of belief, okay, the way of giving to you, that's belief from a totally free choice, okay? And that's a higher level of yirah, and it's called yirat haromamut, okay?
Say what it is again.
It's a higher level of yirah, and it's called yirat haromamut.
And what, define that again?
Haromamut.
Okay, It's when the light of God is present, and nevertheless you choose Yirah. Okay, another example. When Moses came to the burning bush, okay, he hears the voice of God calling to him from inside the burning bush. Now just imagine the situation. Nobody, since Yaakov Avinu went down into Egypt, ever heard the voice of God. Yosef got dreams, and that was it. Okay? Nobody else heard the voice of God. And there's Moses in the desert, all right, and suddenly he hears the voice of God calling to him. You know what he said? Ah, terrific, thank God at long last. Okay? No, what did he do? He covered his face. He went into Yirah. Okay, covered his face. He went into Yirah, v'yaskeh panav. He covered his face. All right? Lo lifgom. That not to take it for granted. Okay, but to still have awe and reverence. Okay? And this is such an important point. That when the things come well and come good, not to go into, oh, magiyali, or I did it, or I got there, or anything like that, but to simply say thank you, and to have a lot of respect, and a lot of, a yirat ha'mamut is respect, because God is greater than us. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? So this is yirat ha'mamut. So this is what the tzaddik does, is when he's got the Gemara Tikkun, he doesn't say, oh good, terrific, now I don't need to do any work. What he says is, thank you God, from a place of respect, and a place of awe, and a place of reverence. This is yirat ha'mamut. So even though he doesn't actually need his yirah, nevertheless he uses it. And what is he doing by then? He's actually raising up all the yirah that he did at the time when God was hidden from him. Because he's showing God that no matter what the situation, he really did want to give to God from a free heart. Okay? Everybody got it? Right, question.
So my whole thing is, isn't it, okay, so the tzaddikim are the ones that believe in God even in the hard times.
Yeah.
So, but isn't it heresy to not believe in Hashem in the hard times? Because you're just basically saying like, okay, I don't believe what you're doing to me, Hashem, because everything that Hashem does is for the best. And it's like it's a type of like, and it's like not believing in Hashem at all.
Well,
saying, like, I know better than Hashem, like, who knows better than Hashem? So everything Hashem really does to us is for the best. So it's basically saying that anyone who doesn't act like a tzaddik or doesn't reach to that level, are they considered like not keeping Torah? Like they're not on the derech?
No, I think like that. I think like this. I think inside each one of us is called a tzibor. Okay, a person, Rabbi Ashlag considers a person as a whole world. Okay, so inside each one of us we have the tzaddik, we have the beinoni, and we have the rasha, tzibor. Okay, there's some aspects of me that are capable of staying connected. Baruch Hashem. There's plenty aspects of me that go up and down like a yo-yo, and I still have aspects within me. Okay, which are plain. Let's just face it, plain rashaim. Okay, and each time I fall down, it seems to hit the rashaim hardest. Okay, and it's very difficult. I'm not talking about something that we've learned or something we heard in a shiur. I'm talking about reality, what it's really like. Okay, and it isn't so easy. Maybe the tzaddik part of me is able to lahatzdik, but there might be other parts of me which are not finding it so easy. And this is an opportunity for those aspects also to raise themselves up and for them to work with them. Okay? We all fall down. And the issue isn't the falling down, the issue is getting up again afterwards. Okay?
With faith, sticking to Hashem. With faith, sticking to Hashem.
Yeah. Yeah, and to somehow keep in contact, yeah.
Part of when they crossed the Red Sea and they Na'amin, you said they Na'amin, but really one of them didn't see Hashem. Then they had the revelation. But they used the word Na'amin as if you didn't really see Hashem. Because that was a sign that they had Yira with it together.
They had Yirah. Yeah, they just kept their Yirah going no matter what was going on. This
Whether
was
it
just
was light or not light, they kept the Yira.
yeah. That's amazing.
Those were the people that made it out of Israel, the ones that had that.
Right.
They're able to hold it. Like a lot of people we were talking about today didn't make it out. Maybe they didn't have the ability to hold on within all of the light or not light, darkness and the light.
Right.
That's the free
Right.
choice.
But the issue is what he's teaching us is that even when the light is present, to hold on to Yirah.
Yeah.
That, and I think that's an important point.
Is that like the, yeah.
Because you're right at the beginning of the wisdom, you know.
Yirah is the beginning.
Beginning of the wisdom, yeah, you cannot be wise if you have no fear of Hashem.
Yirah is the beginning. That's right. Yirah is the beginning.
So
Yeah.
I just want to say, last week was Yom HaShoah, and it was only not so long ago that just the huge catastrophe happened to the Jewish people. And who are we to judge the survivors of the camps who came out saying they believe, and who are we to judge the survivors of the camps saying we lost our faith in Hashem? Like we can't judge anybody else for their choices and how, when, and Chas v'Shalom, we should ever go through that, like, Iman Tov, we should have good free lives. But I see that, like, it just happened to us a generation ago,
Yeah.
What we talk about Mitzrayim seems so far away, but just a generation ago.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Such a terrible
It
thing
now,
happened
it's
to
going
people.
now, and not generation ago, every day.
But I want to
Every day we
relate.
go
I want
from
to
our
relate to
own
what Sippy said
Mitzrayim,
right at the
every
very
day.
beginning. What Sippy said right at the very beginning was very important. She said, it's only an individual thing. You can never look at somebody else and know where they are in Yirat Hashem or anything at all like that. You have no idea. This is the Razei Torah. What Sippy said was so important, was the Razei Torah is hidden from everybody else. Only an individual person knows what his relationship with God really is, and half the time we also have difficulty finding that out as well. Okay? But what Sippy said was crucial, because what's the inyan? The inyan is that I have to, my chovah is to judge everybody the kafsuchut. So I have to assume that everybody else is always connected with God, and the only one who can never fall down is me. Okay? And that's what that's how I have to consider it. As far as I'm concerned, everybody else is acting from a place of total connection, and the only person who can fall down is myself, because that's the only person who I can really know about. So what Sippy said at the beginning was like the headline for the whole thing. Correct.
Yes, everybody connected to Hashem because our soul is Hashem. Sometimes people don't know it, but they will connect it to Hashem.
As far as I'm concerned, everybody's connected to Hashem.
Because we have no choice, they all connected. They all connected. Some people find it in different time in their life. Some